In this video, we're going to discover the very specific and unique and fun concept of concentric circles. We're going to work on finding the area of concentric circles. I love calling these types of questions donut questions because this is exactly what concentric circle is all about. So let's investigate this concept in a little bit more detail. I'm going to start with the discovery of the example that is listed in your box. I know the shading on your handout is not the best, so I'm going to go ahead and shade it in. And so hopefully you are seeing there are lots of similarity between all of your questions that you are seeing on your handout today. And so yes, it is a set of two circles that is presented in front of you. And what has happened, you had a large circle, and then I know it looks kind of terrible and wonky, and then there was another circle that was taken out of the larger circle. So they have the same center, okay? And so they don't necessarily share the same measurement. I'm going to talk about this, but you would notice that all of your circles for your examples are sharing the center. So that's what makes them fun little donuts. So I'm going to go back to the original illustration. So there was a larger circle, and there was a smaller circle that was taken out of the center. What do we know about these two measurements? So let's make sure we are kind of breaking down this measurements really well. So we are seeing the measure that went from the center all the way to the outskirts right here for the large circle. So we know that this radius is 8 feet. And then we also see that inside circle right here, this is the other measure that we see, and we would attribute that to a smaller circle. So 5 feet right here would be the small circle. So what has happened, guys? When the large area was created, it had certain square units. But then the small circle was taken out of, just like you took the cookie cutter and you took that area, that cookie dough out, or the donut dough out to make a donut hole. You have reduced the area of the original circle, of the larger circle. So the way this concept works, we start with the area of a larger circle, and then we're going to subtract the area of a smaller circle. Some of you might say, wow, it's a lot of area calculation. We've done it so much. However, we're going to present it in an easier concept. So let's work through the steps that you are seeing in this particular example. So you are seeing that you have a reference to R that's capital and R that's lowercase. That has to do with larger circle, R capital, and the smaller circle, smaller r. So this concept says this is area of outer circle or large circle. You subtract in the area of small circle. Okay, and every time, both times right here, you are multiplying it by pi. But we can simplify this process and multiply by pi only one time. So what we would do is we would take the radius and take it to the second power as we're supposed to, following our formula pi r squared. Okay, so that's going to be a really important step. So we took a to the second power, gave us 64. We took r equaling 5 to the second power, gave us 25. And so from here, pi times 39 will give us our area. So we're going to multiply the pi, we've been working with that, times 39. So now we're seeing that this calculation of the true area will happen only one time. And that will give us 122.46 square feet. So the concept is large circle minus small circle. We think of this as two areas. Large area was reduced by subtracting the small area. But we're not going to calculate two areas. We're going to find the difference in our radius squared values and then multiply by pi at the end. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue explaining the examples that you are seeing on this in this handout. And so I am in this video explaining 3 examples. Your assignment for today is to complete solving these questions for these 6 examples. So when you open up the assignment, it would say, question number 1, what is the answer for question 4? Question 5, what is the answer for question 5? What is the answer for question 6? And so on. All right, so I'm going to do my work in my spiral on page 110. This is where your note is going to be. So I just kind of wanted to show you how I'm going to organize, my values in my work and make sure that it's all very nicely done. I am posting additional video if after this one you feel like you want more practice or you want more examples. So please refer to that as well. All right, let's get started. So I am seeing 2 circles. I'm looking at my measurements. So I have a small radius of 7 and I have a large radius of 12. Okay. If you need to take time and separate these circles, you absolutely are encouraged to do that. So this is your example 1 and this is what's happening. Your large area minus your small area. So the way it would look like, pi times 12 squared minus pi times 7 squared. Well, instead of multiplying by pi both times, I would say, okay, 12 squared minus 7 squared would give me 144 minus 49. All those perfect squares come in really handy. Pi times 95. And so when I get to that level, I'm ready to do my multiplication, and that would be 3.14 times 95. That's going to give me 298 and 3/10 of square yards. 298, 98, and 3/10. I feel like this worksheet does not have enough space to work, so this is a great way to organize your work. So then you guys are able to glue this, open this up, and see all of your work right here. All right, step number 2, example number 2. All right, so what do I have going on here? So once again, this is my small radius right here. Radius for the small inside circle is 10 inches. All right. Well, our second example of the circles is really different from the first. So let's make sure we understand what's going on here. This value of 4, guys, is not a radius measurement. This value of 4 says that between this little edge right here, between this edge of one circle and this little edge of another circle, the distance is 4 inches. So I want to make sure you're not seeing that this being the radius. So what does this mean then? That means that from the center, that's how we have to measure our radius, all the way to the outskirts of the larger circle, the large R, the radius is 14. Again, where did I get 14? It's 10 and 4, 14. All right, I'm ready to set up and calculate my area. Again, you can draw the illustrations. You do not have to. 14 is the larger one. 10 is the smaller one. So pi times 14 squared minus pi times 10 squared, which would be 14 squared minus 10 squared. That gives me 196 minus 100. Pi times 96. Ooh, my answer is going to be super close to my previous one. Pi times 96 will give me 301 and 44 square inches. Okay. Anytime you need to pause, if I am moving too fast, or if you want to see where my numbers are coming from, or rewatch my distribution of numbers, please feel free to do so. All right, example number 3, yet another variation of how your measurements are given to you. So, do I see a clear definition of my small radius? No, we do not. Look what's going on here, guys. We have this measure right here, goes from the center all the way to the outskirts. So what do we have right now? We have the large radius. Yes, we've been using capital R just to kind of make that distinction. All right. We know that this distance right here is 8 from this to this little pathway if we wanted to. So that means this section, if together they're 18, this is 8, then that means the small radius would be 10. $18 and 10. And the process is going to be absolutely the same. The most time should be taken breaking down and labeling your measurements. 18 squared, 10 squared, pi would be equaling, or times 324 minus 100. Pi would be pi 224, little squeezing, a little bit of space here. And so pi times 224 for the total of 703 and 36 hundredths square feet. In your responses, you do not need to worry about the measurements. Just write down your numbers as they are. So, for your assignment, you are working on these 6 questions. Huge suggestion. First, label what is your small radius and what is your large radius. Some of them are very obvious, like example number 7, very nice and clear. Example number 5, very nice and clear radius values. The other values, you need to make some adjustments and careful calculations. Please check out another YouTube videos that I have posted to give yourself a little bit more practice if you feel like you need to have more practice. If you are here at school, please reach out for help if you need some help. If you are doing this assignment from home, please make sure you're asking questions so I can help you to the best of my abilities.